Okay, I've got this one period ATR filter at the bottom of the screen, and this is the playback of the euro dollar on a 4-hour chart. So that's like the biggest, that's a 100 pip grid, and that's about 100 pips, that bar. So if you were going to use some trending analysis, or at least the idea of the trend is that we're going to get the biggest price pulse in the direction of the trend. And not to say if you increased your size on the climax of that price pulse that you would make the same amount of money coming back off a 20 pip move than the trend trader that's riding the 40 pip move. So it doesn't matter whether you trend trade it or you're range trading it, you know. So here I would put the sell limits in above. I've never seen this chart. I just start anywhere in the chart. So this is like playing scales. If you play guitar, and when the band's not there, so when the band is, or the other people are there, it's kind of like a live event, at least between the musicians. So trading, when the market opens Sunday night, everybody's staring at their monitors, or the algorithms are looking at the data. And what's going to happen, you know? So you're kind of rehearsing this mocked up situation. So that's what you're trying to do, is get your bearings for, you know, if you have a punching bag that looks like a person, this is the idea that you're trying to emulate reality in the simulator before you use real money. And the feelings that go along with winning and losing, I know people that are afraid to lose fake money. I mean, I think hopefully there's no difference for you, but there's something, people are attached to real money, or at least what they think is like your most cash would be the most, like if somebody stole your cash, you couldn't call the bank and say, you know, I got these serial numbers, I can tell you what they are on these bills, they're missing. But with the digital money, right, so you have this tangible money, liquid tangible money would be cash. The next step up would be what? I don't know. You know, cars, people used to drag race for the pink slip, you know, for the car. But that's another rabbit hole we don't want to go down. But here we're trying to make money from price fluctuation, regardless of the cause. But we can see some of the looming dangers that when the market gets to the edges of these prices, is that really support? Like, when is that not going to be support? When is this going to just be... The market's been going sideways too long. So in building the breakout bot, the ATR indicator at the bottom of the screen is the filter that people want to see. This is the whole idea of an indicator, is that you're driving your car, you look down at the dashboard, hey, look at fucking A, man. I mean, it's overheating a little bit, huh? Maybe back off the throttle. So if I was in a giant position, and of course the trend traders are going to get in on the small bars, the big bars, people are probably cashing out. I assume some people are getting in. But on the 4-hour chart, the discipline is to only trade breakouts, or only look for tight stop. You can run your tight stops when the bars are low, and your wide stops when the bars are high, if you want to adapt to the current conditions, you know, per 4-hour. And the robot shouldn't discriminate. So the way to dramatically expose the slight subtle difference in each size in each robot, say we have 5 bots running here that are triggered by a delta of, or high-low bar. Last 4 hours is X. And maybe it does have a 5-period moving average. In other words, if I went with a moving average crossover system, it would be the 1 crosses the 2, or a 1 crosses a 3-period moving average. But is it linear weighted, or is it smooth, or is it simple, or is it exponential? You have 4 versions in MetaTrader. You got 1 through 5, so you got 4 versions of just the 1 crossing the 3. Now that is a slightly different entry. That's all you need. Once you go past that, you're trading a wave that doesn't really even coming up for the next. I just saw a guy do a video. It wasn't bad. I thought he's waiting for this trade. He says, I'm going to let the market have that. I'm going to let the market have. So if you're going to let the market have this rally, yeah, I'm going to start selling right now. Now it would sell at the end. At the market, I'd sell a little bit right now, but then I just put sell limits all the way up. So I can already see my trade plan. This is a 100 pip grid. Now, without regard to this indicator down here, maybe I use it for confirmation. So there's all these kind of, just layered confirmations. If you're going to do confirmation, you're probably going to do as many as you can. Oh, yeah, well, the computer's on. Okay, confirmation number 1. Oh, I got a mouse. But these are all the other confirmations that really do matter. I mean, you have a tablet where you can close all profitable positions, because if you've got a constant trolling exposure to pick up the market if should it spike somewhere, because in the background there's a 1-hour robot running, and all he's doing is keeps throwing out this stupid ass trade plan, which you wouldn't want to waste your time doing. So, but if you notice that stupid ass robot is up like $50 or $1,000, and you're like, gee, it's not gonna last. I mean, if you know anything about like some of these spikes, like here, did you buy more here? Like, are you getting? No, I'm winning because I just sold. So that's the end of that is Friday. It's over. I'm going short into the weekend here probably. And just on and on and on. And if you have these running, if you really were serious about trying to trade your algorithm, wouldn't you just have 5 computers running your fucking algorithm, and you just look at it and go, yeah, it looks like it's... I mean, but this is very intense, it's very stressful to look at all of these screens, and what if there's real money in each trade? I mean, there's, oh my God, this is like $10,000 move right there. Just get the fuck out. Are you serious? Like, so... I went to a guy's house one night, because my power went out, and so I went over there, check this shit out. The guy was like, I had this one girl trading. She was like, yeah, so what's going on here? The guys are like, what the hell is that? But, they're not really, some people are not very impressed, right? They think, oh, that's great, but I heard that's gambling. That's what I hear. I hear people say shit that's really derogatory. So that's another big kind of defeat when you're trading, is that you're like, no, check this out. Oh, shit, right, yeah, you and my brother, all bankers, guys. No, it's just stupid trades, But it's the repetition. So this is the people that make money. I can't say every song some guy wrote's a genius song, but some songs people write are just like, dude, it's amazingly just the right amount, right? Not too hot, not too cold. The Goldilocks theory of trading, looking for the ATR in the last bar was lower, and now we can see if we stretch it out, we're going to get the most kind of true value. Let's see if I can scrunch this down of the indicator. Oops, I'll lag here, and I can put a threshold on that. Take my trusty horizontal and pick a value. So this will be the pip bar. Let's see. I'm going to change the color of my horizontal bar line. Okay. Sometimes it's set for, it draws background. It's set for a different, yeah, that's not going to work. So, I usually go with white. I mean, I know that's very offensive. Something kind of intense. Yellow. Okay, we have Asian on that one. Gold. But this value here, you can pick this inside the settings of values. This is 26 pips. You kind of just have to, it's pretty low threshold. And you can put levels on there. I think you can put levels on there. Maybe not this one, but if you add levels to that, then you've got, let's see, I just call it his histogram of. So you could say, well, I'm gonna only take trades that have, let's say, take 10 pips now. Let's do 15 pips. That's pretty tight, right? I think this is gonna be 15. Make it kind of thick. Okay, so we only take trades that are down here. And you also use this, so you go to the 1 hour time frame now, but I can't on playback. Unfortunately, I can't jump to the 1 hour right now. So, but if you only took trades that were there, so you only got, what, how many trades here? Are these good breakout trades? I guess, right? If you can survive it here, look at this. That's about 10 pips here. 10 pips before the crash. Or, yeah, about even 7 here. And this is a brutal week, so what was going on here, in the big landscape of everything? So that's a monster move, And this is the true representation of volatility in a 4 hour period. I'm assuming this is a valid chart. And without so with the robot, what I did in the other video was limit entry. If this was a breakout system, what I'd really be concerned about is trying to get in the smallest bar that I probably wouldn't babysit to watch that form either, right? That's going to be a triangle on the 1 hour. Anything below this 15 pip, that's a 100 pip grid, that's a 15 pip threshold on the ATR. So a threshold for entry for that kind of trading, which, I think trading a 5-minute breakout, yeah, that's, because you're looking for the fucker to climax in about 45 minutes and make about 28 pips or some bullshit, right? And this is a great trade. All day long, that's a great trade. Are you there for it? Can you execute it? Da, 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 da. Or, you realize that there are breakout traders. It's okay that they exist. And you are a limit entry guy. And when you see this thing going berserkoid, this is non-directional filter. By the way, there is a directional version of this I have where it's 0 in the middle, like a histogram of MACD, where 0's in the middle and anything below is a smash down, anything above is a smash up. But this is just pure volatility filter. And of course I'm making money right now because I was short coming into the weekend. The fact that this is a monster bar also could be your other filter for anything. Give me anything above, let me know when the market gets above this, which is, way the hell up there. I think we're about, I'm going to say 50 pips here. That's per 4 hour period. Now, I got buy limit setting here. Like, who doesn't, right? How big is that ticket? If I was going to try to help that mindful trading girl, I'd say, you know what? Do yourself a favor. Here, take the week off. Put a buy limit, buy a 10K here, buy a 20K, buy a 30K, buy a 40K, buy a 50K. Put a big stop down here and call me in the morning. So she said in this one video, gosh, I like when I get in a trade and I'm up on the trade. Yeah, that's called the scalp. You could have got the fuck out. But hey, she put a limit in, see? That was the difference. If you put a buy stop here because you're like, well, if it goes up, I'll get in. Okay. All right. No. If I'm short into the weekend, the whole time this is coming back right now, I'm thinking, yeah. Oh, I'm getting out where the buyers are coming in. What am I, fucking retarded? So, but how big did you come into this? Did you sell 40 standard lots here on the tip of that wick in that little supply zone? That's an order block there, so don't even talk about supply zone. You remember what happened to that one guy? He was what was his name? So, but look at this. Look at this. Man, this is, and there's a ton of volume there. So this is more sensitive way better than a volume indicator. Well, look at this thing's perking up. So maybe you scalped that. Maybe you just got filled on you just got filled on something, maybe. Or the breakout traders. You know that they just got filled right now. We just took out that threshold. Now you're looking around going, well, are they going to rip it down or rip it up? So if you're not in the market right now, what trade's available to you? I say limits. Very rarely, unless you, like the robot could sit there and wait for the 4 hour to get really small and go, okay, let's build a hedge here. Now you're going to lose a leg of the hedge, granted, right? But you're still going to have, if your ratios are really good, and they would have to be on these breakout trades, you're going to have to lose that leg very quickly within 7 to 8 to 5 pips, because when it explodes, if the ratios are 1 to 8, you'll overall make 4 to 1. So hand-picking each trade to make really good ratios, yeah, I guess. But in a world of computers, why bother? So anything, of course you can run moving average, right? Moving average of ATR. But that's a raw histogram ATR. To me, this is the ultimate indicator if you are just trying to sift through the market for tight entry. I suppose sniper entry, where I'm sure the 15-minute chart within this pocket down here has got to be just like, and when you get this, here's your structure of floor to ceiling, right? Not at the 100 though. I mean, it's not like that. A triangle, cute little triangle, which is also evident in the ATRs are smaller. You could draw a trend line on ATR all day. You could just, all day long, you'd be, oh, look at, yeah, triangle. But if you had limits here to buy and limits here to sell, you just, from this explosion, so the breakout traders come in, and as soon as the market fills at least this much volatility, and this is insane. If I saw that, I'd be, wow. I mean, the breakout traders, the people that traded this breakout, you got to hope they're cashing out. Also, your threshold for exit. If you build a robot that gets in on a low, small bar, a couple bars in a row, actually. So maybe it's triggered by in a 10 robot layer. You have a robot for all this, like, oh, there's 3 robots on that trade now because it went down 1 more pip. And now they're all in that trade. It's also what's causing explosions or the rip. So here is deep void, right? And then boom. So here's the deep void, right? Nothing's going on. We got a triangle. We got drift. It's a classic. Here, more sell limits now. If I was not in that trade right now, as soon as this perks up, I go into limit mode, but stop mode's over. Now we're forming the next 4 hour. So at the end of 4 hours, there's only 6 bars a day in the market. It's not that complicated, right? But I think if you have a moving average on this, you're not going to think about, so there'd be a structure breakout system here. Yeah, you can put a moving average on there, but, really? In other words, if you thought this was in a moving average downtrend and you started to put like, okay, we're waiting for something, this is your first chance to get into any kind of trade. And it turns out that trade is in this direction. Because if you're looking for a threshold of that, you told your robot or your ex-wife, whatever, look, honey, if you see something like this low, call me. That's the apex of this triangle. The robot doesn't know that. So the guy over there in Britain that's talking about, the robot can know these things, right? So he's looking for this stuff. Give me these entries, right? Here, just before we smash through the floor, it's like, ruh-roh. And then, this is a decent move, and then this spike here. So here's what just destroys people, right? Because if you're short, here's the cruel situation, is that if you were short here, you got in your breakout system, nailed your entry so good. It was Sunday night. Your breakout bots triggered on Sunday nights. Here's the problem. The delta is bad. I mean, the spread's wide. The delta fill, it's not the great fill. But that's why this fill here is just before London Open or whatever Europe. This is the kind of end of Asia coming into Sunday night, or the opening of U.S. market there, whatever. It wouldn't matter. It's just about the fact that this is 100 pip. Okay, so you had this. You kind of have to go back to here, I suppose, if you care about this. But this is. The problem is everything on the chart, right? I mean, I can see all the trades there, so I can't help myself. Say, like, you missed this entry here too, right? Anything below in the 15s is time to think about. The breakout traders making money here, unbeknownst to them. It doesn't matter. I could see this as being like, wow, this is Sunday night and it went a little bit lower and I'm buying on limits. So I'm always buying on limits somehow, somewhere. And everybody's, I suppose, on board this one. The market just has formed this impassable situation. So there's two auctions going on there. You have the mini auction here, the last of the last, right at the bottom here. But you've also got this one where this is the previous week's low, or spilling out of that, right, smashed down into Sunday. People are like, Jesus Christ. Now I would probably buy into that for a dead cat bounce, but really it takes another little just drying up, and all the robots are glomming onto this, right? So this is feeding. This is really the deepest feeding frenzy for super nothing going on in this, And also that tells you that there's a triangle forming. So the robot is seeing a triangle, it just doesn't know it. A lower eyes, or lower range. So this is range. I keep thinking. So when you see this, you might think it's a volume indicator, but it's better than a volume indicator because it's a representation of what volume can do to a 4-hour period as far as smashing the fuck up or down. So that's when people are getting in, people are getting out, because it's an unsustainable rate of change. The direction, that's obvious. Now you could put this with RSI, you could combine this with RSI, and at that point maybe you are taking overbought, oversold. That's one more filter to add, and that's plenty there, right? I suppose this video could be for somebody that's building a robot. So if I was trying to get some guy to build a robot, which is apparently what you have to do, is like take people into a room and screw their hands on the chair and go, listen, man, here's the thing. So, because I guess I'm just telling robot, listen, you take this trade, you take this trade, you take, so this is super low threshold, like 10 pip, 7 pip, 4-hour bars. But isn't that the place to get in? On your breakout bot, your dream breakout bot with 100, you got a 20, a 40, a 60, 100 pip target hit. Here the robot gets in, and he's got his 10, 20, 30, but he doesn't hit his 100. So the money management system would be your extra smoothing your profits and smoothing your losses coming in. Maybe on that same account that's running just this. And the spread is tight. This is the euro dollar. So you're exploiting the tight spread of the euro dollar. It gets very tight. It gets very explosive. This whole choppy. So the breakout bots are making money during here, but their targets can't be 100 pips. This is not going to be. It's going to get in here, but see, the robot only took a few trades there. The time that the robot starts to cluster, or the robots, right? Because the robot there's a single robot that took this trade, actually, right? Maybe that's a 10K robot. Another 10K robot here. So you're into about 100K here, where you just the breakout bot's stacking up. He hasn't got stopped out. He hasn't got, well, actually, he got filled here, right? And in that situation, you would write 10 single 1Ks in that robot, and it's going to just unfold in there. It's going to take 2, 4, 6, 8 profits. Because you don't want to have it, since it's not going to trade that much. When it does trade, it needs to put 50K in. It needs to have a nice 10 to 50K. Maybe it does end up, well, I mean 50K in total, because other robots are going to glom onto the low. That's where they start to conjugate. You know, people are, wait, it's a doji. Also, these are obviously dojis straight off. If not, we know they're single bars. We don't have to look at the chart. So the idea of the indicator is that it's the filter, so we don't have to look at the chart. Because the chart for some people is like a fucking train wreck, right? For the robot, it's like, well, nothing's going on. Let's put a trade on. And people typically don't do that either. It's been in these forums, he's on Skype, and people are like, yeah, I don't know, market's not doing anything. So a lot of people want to see the market moving. They want to jump on it, maybe go the direction it spiked, or they're contrarian and they're looking for it to go against it as soon as it rallies. Like fake news, you know, that's got to be bullshit. Let's just jump on the other side of that. And for every, so the high water mark is maybe your robot is designed to get a breakout, a delta of 15 or 10, but he's got to take off the 20 pips, the 40 pips, and you can just see your targets here. This is a 100 pip target, almost 100 pips in 4 hours. Typically, you're going to get these kind of targets. So the reason why you could make, if you had a threshold, but I wouldn't do it, but if you were going to get in here, you know you're getting out here. You know that robot made money, so this is back testing too. Right now, the robots are starting to come in. And on my short, when I came in here, because I'm just going to trade this like a human being, not a robot, that if I short that, I better think about cashing out, or if I'm not that short, I've still got pending settlements here, irregardless of the indicator that's, you know, I'm kind of rehearsing playing in the scale of something. This is so in a guitar rehearsal mode. It's the weekend. And you can run these EAs. And if you really think you're, these no-nonsense people, if you really think your thing's that great, let's see you do it in Strategy Tester and just call the trades out and just train yourself to, when I see that, I do that. That's all you're doing, right? To take it to the level of the robot can do these kind of tasks, and it can see this, do that. That's the Orion bot. I see this, I do that. That's the, and I'm right most of the time. My ratios are good enough to compensate for the fact that I'm not always right. And this is the typical world. And there's nobody that's getting every trade right. That's just not possible, because the market, only because if you had trade with a 10 pip stop and a 1,000 pip stop, that yes, the 1,000 pip stop will rarely get stopped out. I mean, okay, maybe sometimes, right? I mean, it can happen. The whole account could get blown up. That's why if you go with the samurai trading style, you have 10 accounts. You got $200 in each account on your market set go. You might make, if you don't care, you'll make maybe $1,000 with $200. And maybe then you blow that account up. But maybe out of 10 accounts, you end up with $5,000 because, you did make 15 grand, but you lost 10. So now a lot of people, that would be disturbing, but for other people, they'd be like, okay, well, at the end of the week, now this is why at the end of the week view of life, end of the day view of life, the end of the month view of life, for success. Am I paying my bills every month? Because, every month I seem to make at least $3,000, even though I was up $5,000 that month. Am I really a consistent trader? And all this stuff people pressurize themselves with, I suppose. Is this enough, right? Is it enough? And of course, on the being able to get to these trades. So if you have a way to cash out all of your winnings every 4 hours, every 4 days, because there is a limit, people. I mean, so when the market spikes and you're like, wow, this trade's really working out, like, you gotta say at some point, wow. So if the even this girl, I feel bad. She took this class and she gets the, but I don't think she's doing trading to make money. She's just demonstrating this is what you would do if you were trading. I mean, she's making money, right? But I mean, there's so many trails you can go down in the market of paying attention to, like saying you have a bias, right? So right there, that's always a big controversial thing. Should you have a bias? Because if you're a trend trader, my price pulses are going to be bigger in the direction of the trend, because this is I heard a guy say in a video that it's funny. He made this conclusion that this sell-off here, for some reason, that this sell-off here, the people that sold there, if they get a chance to sell there again, it's going to be a big down move. But we don't really know what's going to happen next. I think I just got filled here on a buy limit, so if I buy new lows, I'm going to go against the breakout traders also. So I know what the breakout traders are doing, right? Because we can see here, when it's small bars, we know the breakout traders are preparing for confirmation and a breakout in the direction of their trend, and that's going to be their hope and joy. And we are going to trade against somebody, I guess, right? We are going to have this foil. We can say, well, I'm going against the banks, and maybe that's what you're looking for, because you want to feel like, I'll be the stop hunter this time. The breakout traders are stop hunters, right? I mean, when the market explodes, anybody that's got a tight stop is going to get taken out. And that's going to be the fuel that drives it. And this is why people come up with these narratives. They want to make sense of the market. Well, after the fact, what was the cause of that? Why so choppy? Why so why can't people just fucking decide what I always think is, why can't people just fucking agree on the price here? What the fuck is going on? It's up, it's down. I mean, it's at the end of the week the same fucking price. What the fuck was that? I was in the market and you stopped me the fuck out. Like, what in the fuck is going on here? So, trading with stops because it's a money management thing, and then wondering why when you took this course with the moving average crossover, you got in the fucking hammer candle. The guy was saying, I'm looking for candles like this. Well, dude, those candles like this went on for fucking all week long. I can't wait for the market. I'm not going to give the market any fucking trades. Fuck that. I'm not going to give it to it because if a 20 pip fluctuation's going on, I want to be able to trade a 10 pip fluctuation or a 40 pip window. If the market's going to come into this new low, how long is it going to last? Is this going to be a big smash down? How fast can the market drop? And am I in a structural new high, new low? So the structural thing is the limit order are giving us the structure entries. The lack of volatility is going to be when I probably get in the market. Market adding to a position maybe. So if the market is smashed down and I'm like, wow, this thing really is down and we're in, should we let it go through the choppy? So that the big decision is, do you let this entry you got that's pretty decent size, should you just treat it like a scalp? Because it's 4 hours till United States opens. It's 8 hours till United States open. So why don't I just dump out and then reload? So that's usually the better choice. Unfortunately, because you're just not, when the market's quiet like that and you're in very big and it's a scalp, there's more drama to come. So getting into limits that you're kind of, you can almost have to go flat if the size is too big, because when it's stalled out like that, you're also now I suppose the prey. You are now, because if you're exposed, you're not getting in on confirmation anymore. You're already in. It's quiet. You're up on some tickets. But if you dump out of that and you place limits above and below, now you can exploit the wicks now. So it's about your exposure, because if you have $300 in the account every day that you add if people just added $300 a week to their account and never traded it, they'd say, this is fucking, I'm making so much money, you fucking wouldn't believe, right? And they only pick up trades that they expose themselves. They put out 10% exposure. So the 2% of the account thing, I'm still blowing my mind on that shit. So this warrior, this mindful trading girl says, I risk 1% of the account. I'm like, how big is this fucking account? Jesus fucking Christ, give me a goddamn number, bitch. How big is this fucking $1 million account? I got you. That's a fucking chunk. Now, why are you risking 1% if you got $1 million? It's a ridiculous fucking concept. I'm so sorry, but if I made $1,000 in 10 minutes, I would probably get the fuck out. If in 10 minutes my robot can make $1,000 and trade 3 times a day, right? I mean, what's this fucking? Where's your fucking numbers? I'm so sorry, but this is what just tortures the fucking hell out of me. Everybody that does a video on the fucking, they never talk about, well, that was about 800. I guess some people do. That's about $850 right there, dude. Jesus Christ. People are asking me, why are you blowing up these accounts? I'm like, why aren't you blowing up your account? I mean, if you get into these giant leveraged positions with minimal money in the account, how much do you want to lose? How much could you handle spending on a business to keep the lights on, to maintain a position in the market? So if you want to maintain a $20,000 position in the market, and you know that you're going to get stopped out X amount of times per day, right? You got your substitute tight, whatever the problem is. You're trading the market too much, so now you think you know where the market's going, so you're like, oh, I got this. I got this. The guy said, I got this, just before he went into hit this rock in the road. He told his girlfriend got out of the car, and he said, I got this. Yeah, that's famous last words. So here the robot's going to see this. Now here I'd say all robots are getting in on these. At that point, this is the breakout, kind of trapped, not really making a ton of pips there, are we? So this is kind of failure for the breakout system. If you're looking for the market to spike, of course, you just know you're getting filled. This is not like doesn't work the other way. So we know our limits are getting filled here. If we're looking for the market to have a spike, we're in on that. So we're in on that smash down. We're up on that trade right now. If you held that thing for a week, so every time the market smashes down, I know I'm getting filled on limits. So I know my positions are being built during this phase here without regard to the breakout system. So I know the breakout bots are getting in here and stuff, but then they're coming into my either sell limits or buy limits during this stuff. And this is where I have to scalp it. Right, I got to scalp back to the mean value, back to the center of the road, back to the... Now, still waiting for those fills on the buy limits here. If I'm still short, look, they trapped the breakout traders there. This will be where I cash out. Most people are going to, right in this area, they're going to say, buyers coming in, sellers coming out. Top become bottom structurally. Also, there's buy limits all the way down for me, because I've seen this overshoot, right? Oh, that sounds good, but what about when they go after these poor guys, right? They come after you. How much money did you make? So, oh, well, we have to have that because, we're trying to cool the planet down. Okay, you do that for you. you do you. So, you can't, people are just incredible. There's all victims, right? Now I got buy limits here. I'm dropping them right now that last for an hour. I already see my approach to this. And if I'm flat, I'm dropping them all the way down. Let's fix this up. Get this straightened out so we can see the next possible. Okay, so I can see the spread here, which is fixed at, I think, 2.5 pips, something like that. Let me see. I think I fixed it at 2.5. That looks right. Okay, so probably getting filled here on a limit. That's smashed down. So if I had a tablet running this, I double click and I just, which is, you can trade while driving with a tablet. You could just look over and see this. If you're in the car when this happens, right now you just double click and it just throws in a rack of 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour. Just put about 150K in there with a few scripts. So I just take the tablet and I increase the font to like 300%. You get a 10-inch tablet and you increase the font to about 2 or 300%. And you just have a double click setup. Come in. I'm just going to plop down big ass rack, you know. So like this, pick a zone. It's sitting there. Certainly more tickets down here. Always more tickets deeper. There's your first rack, second rack. And at this point, I could turn on a couple buy bots, you know, just buy only bots, very specific, very complicated little array of 50K maybe. That's every 4 hours it drops 50K for me in that in all these boxes. I don't have any and right now I'm not in the market. So I wouldn't buy at the market right now, just let this happen. And then let's look forward for the rest of the week. So plan out the rest of the week, and then you can go to each market and plop a grid and just walk away. That's what I do, but I know people breakout trade. It does, you know, you can't sit here and your breakout bot would have had to cash out of something there because he almost got below the 15. We set a 15 threshold. So let me speed it up. So that's always a nice exercise. I guess you call these exercises, right? Let's be like when you go to the gym, right? And you have that, like the people you beat up, like a stunt wife, like a hooker. All right, so I'm gonna go max speed here. Wait, 31. 31's good. So let's try to call it the trades here. Okay, we're getting filled on limits. And we're cashing out of our shorts. People are cashing out from that insane close on Friday. Here comes Monday. Now I expect a big smash down. So this might take a lot of heat here. I'm underwater on these tickets right now, that first rack. And maybe getting stopped out. Maybe I am getting stopped out. The breakout traders are up. They're up. See, they got in just about. So if you have a more aggressive or higher risk bot, or we just go to the 1 hour chart. If you go to the 1 hour breakout bot, he's going to have a very different filter set. He's going to have a 5 pip stop, right? Because he has to accommodate the 1 hour drama explosions. But he has a higher overhead because the delta's so close, right? And maybe he gets into the market. He's programmed when the delta gets tight, he just gets in the market with a tight stop and assumes it's a fucking small candle. Well, he knows. He doesn't put a buy stop and a sell stop like a goober. So the robot's set to execute upon low per bar ATR. He has no trade here. The limit bots have this. It's like I got this just before you hit the tree. I got this. Okay, now I'm getting filled on my deep tickets. The deeper it goes, the bigger I'm in. So now I'm in like 25K, let's say. All right. I'm in 25K on singles right now. Because either while driving my car, I double click the perfect fucking depth array, and I'm in. That's it. Now I'm gonna speed it up, slow it down. If it gets too out of hand, I'm just gonna say I'm cashing out of that blue box that I just got into the whole time. And my ultimate target for that, or my dream target, is going to be above this, but I don't think I'm going to see that, so I'm going to get out here. Okay, so now I'm taking on more heat. I'm getting more tickets now. I might be getting stopped out of something that has too tight a stop here. We know this is at least 30 pips. Right now, this bar is growing, and at the end of that, I know I'm getting filled on limits. I got them all the way down here right now. Waiting for the plunge. I'm going to go to max speed here and back it off. So they're filling me now. This is the top become a bottom on Wix. And we're scalping to that yellow line right here. We'll be out of everything by that yellow line. If we don't blow up all these tickets. A lot of tickets in this blue box here. Oh, we just filled. Get it filled. Okay, now we're in pretty big. I wouldn't even trade it at the market. That's why I would just have, like, I'm in plenty big here, and I got more buy limits beneath me because I don't think this is the end of it, right? So the top bottom did fail. See, the idea that this was going to be the top become a bottom. See how they just fucked your brains. Like, okay, there was right here. There was a dead cat bounce, but that wasn't it. I'm buy limits. I'm Mr. Buy Limit. So I scalped on something there. I think I probably got a scalp in there. On my tight exits, I know I got a scalp off that. Now this whole week, of course, the big ass buys are going to be below here. But look how this gave back. Now, if you held on Friday, if you're still holding your shorts, right? And you're cashing out, maybe you cashed out here, maybe you cashed out here. Where did you cash out? Or are you going to get in, cash out here as soon as you take a look at that? It's a total engulfment. I didn't call out the breakout trades. Sorry, that happened so fast. But see, the breakout bots or the trend traders, right? If you think this is a weekly downtrend, and without even looking, we know the breakout trader. So we know that all this is about 80 pips. So this, we know this is a 50 pip move. This is 30 pips down. So if I keep buying into this and my tickets expire, the week's over, right? So if my ticket only lasts for 4 hours, then some of these trades never filled. The expiration on these tickets is critical. Right? That's what's the most critical part. Here, I lost the chart because I fixed the scale. Okay, so if I'm buying into this plunge, okay, here's the abyss. I gotta get rid of this stuff on the screen. Wait. This whole week, also on Friday, I'm long. Coming into Friday, I buy into this again. See, the breakout bots are making money here. They don't care about the direction. Maybe they do, but see, these are extremely small bars before it keeps tanking. And that's if I get 8-hour scripts and I got 4-hour scripts. So here coming in, I'm seriously long here. Now, most people aren't going to buy really big here because if you bought all the way down, which if you had a 200 pip stop, you're still in the trade. So this is what blows people's brains out. When you take out this weekly low, this deep weekly low, and that is totally, that filled, boom, bam, you know, like, wow. People aren't set up for these trades, but the robot that does the breakout, he wouldn't care. See all the fills he got? So these are, that's why it's so difficult to trade, right? And if you were short, are you still short? Are you holding that? When I opened up the chart, I said, I was short into the Friday. Are you still short? Even through that new low? Wow. So if you only got a 1-hour script, if I got 15-minute scripts, none of them filled. If the robot dropped them every 4 hours, okay, maybe it filled just the tail of one of those. And it said if your 50K is, you have 50K pending there, and that's going to be your threshold for sizing. So here we are back in the box, back in this whole zone again. So you keep buying these voids here. You keep look at that. Man, if you didn't get out of that trade, look at that. Now, is that just mind-blowing or what? Now, this is, I don't know, September 11th. Maybe this is 911 or something. But look at that shit. Now you tell me that a moving average crossover system's going to be making any money on that. Like, how does that work? So the guy that bought, now here's that Friday. Let's open the chart here. Can you believe these prices? If you had a 150 pip stop, you are still in this trade. If you started buying here, it's inconceivable that somebody would do it if they had a moving average system, but anything below here, you're just a buyer. How many times have we been down here? How many times have you had this thing go on sale down in here, this price zone? Look at these wicks. Man, it just beat the shit out of these wicks. Now here, I'm telling you, man, you have to have 100, this is 130 pips in 4 hours. It's 130 pips in 4 hours. Now, that's got to be some kind of news, something. And as soon as it quieted down, there comes the little, right there, a nice breakout trade there. Wow. Beautiful. But if you're going to buy on limits out of that breakout, that's what I'm doing. So as soon as I see the market's quiet, I'm like, it's about to break out. I'm not in. Let's put in limits. Let's capture the smash, the explosion. So somebody either blew up their account here or made a lot of money. If you're not used to this kind of volatility. And we're going to see 120 pip move again. Did you write a target for 120 pips in 4 hours? I didn't probably. I don't think I have 140 pip targets for 4 hours. Like so, I know on this trade that I'd be very happy to buy this new low and scalp it to here. Right, so I buy here, I get out here, and I suppose maybe I follow through a little bit. But look at, why not just put a sell limit here, capture this, trade it back to here, bing, bang, bong, bing, bing, bong. Or there's so many trades in here. It's just, even the guy that's trading moving average crossover systems probably getting a trade off here. Okay, here's Sunday night. Now I'm buying this zone for sure. I'm buying this whole another box, a buy box, and a sell box. And the breakouters are just a nice breakout trade there. Look at the ATR got down to 0 here. Okay, so they're up. They're maybe being trapped here. Hopefully you're cashing out of something. Okay, breakout traders are cashing out, and a little more volatility here, and limit guys are going to get filled. Sell limits above that are way up there, and buy limits below. So you have sell limits up here forming, buy limits down here right now. And the breakout traders are, like I said, if they didn't take their profits in that rally there, they're kind of screwed. You know what I mean? Okay, now we're getting filled on limits. Every time we see, and we got deep limits here, we start putting in deeper limits. We're long beneath this. Once again, this will be our first target. Okay, we're out on our first target. If we're just going to babysit the market. But if we're going to blindly put in grids, we know we're getting filled long here. Buy, buy, buy. We're coming to the abyss again. This is the, below here we could drop 150 pips right now. So come in with buy limits really deep now for the rest of the week. And just let them come after my limits. Okay, they're filling me now. Right, the deeper we go, the more we buy. Okay, I'm very long there because it's the very edge of the abyss. And first target would be, the first kind of jumbo targets here. But I'm already out on anything always when we come back to the floor because we could go lower. So, okay, perfect. We went lower. So, and this is the next week, lower even more. So this is kind of like this giant build. or a giant fail. We're going to keep tanking. Interwoven. So the breakout traders just got in there. They're writing it down. They have to be careful now because everything that happens now is happening under this price here. And I don't know how far back that goes, but people are cashing out now. So that is the exit. Now some sellers come in. And I got buy limits again. So if I didn't go flat, and I'd probably here's the other cash out that we had to take. If we bought here, we had to cash out to the floor. If we bought here, we cashed out something. We went deeper, we cashed out here. And now this is the ultimate cash out. Now limits again on the buy side. Because it's so volatile. Okay, definitely out. Now definitely limits now. And this is the other big sell limit pocket. And if you're still holding, of course, right, they got the big deep pocket guys are like, oh no, my target's going to be up in here where the sellers are. Or right here. Anything above that. Okay, now buy limits again. And now sell limits. So when it quiets down, and here are the breakout traders, right? They got in before that explosion, but if they didn't cash out, okay, they're getting a little whipsawed, right? Breakout traders jumped on that. Now we're getting filled on the, well, not yet. We're waiting to get filled on that sell limit, buy limit pack, and this sell limit pack right now. Right, that's the scheme right currently. Sell limits up here, buy limits down here. Still waiting, and it's a waiting game. It looks like we could really explode up here now, so I'd be very careful selling into it. And I move my sell bank up to here maybe if I think, oh, that's going to be a very quick and dirty. I still got the buy limits though. Okay, we're getting filled on the buy side instead. So we never know how we're going to make our money. And that's just as well. I don't care. So the feeding frenzy's there. We cash out to here. And now maybe it does engulf. And now maybe we're still holding. And come up into the sells. So a lot of maybes there, but I definitely know I would have taken that one on just even the tablet or just hand placing them. Double click or even the robot. So 3 ways to get in the robot, or you double click or you drag and drop a precise rack of orders. Okay, now we're getting filled on the sell limit side. Or we're taking profits, or we're riding this thing out. We're cashing out. Okay, big sellers up here above these 2 wicks. We know that for a fact. Okay, they got filled. Cashing out. Buyers will be here again. But once again, we can do that crash where the buyers really don't come in there. And it's really about so many people cashing out here that we have enough fuel to make it back down. What we don't know, right? We can put more sell limits here if we've cashed out. And now it's going to be, because we know that there is the top bottom traders. They just, right? Confirmation, guys. Or just the market's that, right? Because if you sold here, this is your place to get out, break even without blowing up the account, right? If you're wrong about that sell, here's your chance to get even. Okay, we're cashing out of this box. We sold new highs. Cash out to the bottom of the exit. Okay, that trades out. Or we're still holding some of that. And if we are, we're cashing out more. Now I got sell limits above here now, and I got buy limits down here. So now I feel confidence that we can start stacking up a bunch of buy racks down here. And we just wait. And maybe this will fill next week. Okay, here's next week coming in. Let's come into these tickets. Let's hit it. Boom. Okay, we cashed out to the floor. We're out of that trade. Let's do it again. Rinse and repeat. So I delete all these orders. And let's just rinse and repeat that. And that's what it's like, you know. I mean, to me, I like the limit entry. Set it and forget it, so to speak. This other one, otherwise, yeah, let the robot that does the breakouts. Of course, he has to get out, right? Because look at, he's getting whipsawed. There is no big long run. There's no glorious trend here. Sell limits above there. Buy limits. So trailing buy limit packs now. Okay, can you fill that sell side? This could be vicious, right? This could be vicious. We have to scalp out of anything that we can get here, because we knew this is it's gonna be brutal above here, brutal. But you stand in front of it and you're out, right? For the scalp to the right, you're out of some of these right now. Zoom out one level so we can see the big picture, what it's feeding on. So the next feeding frenzy zone is going to be here. It really does. And of course, all the trend traders are waiting for it to come back to here, and channel traders, blah, blah. But we're selling into that. I'm selling into that. Cashing out a little bit here. Big sell bank sitting up there. We don't even care. We set that weeks in advance. Days in advance. Everybody's going to be selling there. Everybody and their mother. Actually, this whole time I'm short. In this 100 pip window, I'm short, taking punishment. Okay, I'm making money now. See, so how much punishment can you take? Can you handle selling above this? You know. And then you have to sell just a payout load up here on the very tippy top, coming into Sunday night, coming into Monday morning. Look at that thing. So it's about, we're going to come into Sunday night here. Next week should be pretty mapped out. Okay, we're finally making money on this goddamn entry. So we got in here, right, our first sell limit. And we're about to cash out. And most people that sold there thinking it was going to crash, they're going to cash out. So we should see buyers coming here, but it might be a typical overshoot and come all the way back deeper now. So now it's now I'm out of that trade, right? I have to get out because I know the buyers are coming in. The confirmation people are coming in there. Okay, now sell them it again. Or I'm still holding on, which I can't imagine. That's why I don't hold the trades that long, because I just can't imagine, right? Look at this fucking thing. Buy limits again. Now I'd come in with buy limits. I like the probability of smashing down 50 and retracing 50. So probabilities are changing every 4 hours based on the last insane price move. Okay, we went long there. We scalped the floor on something, not the greatest trade pip-wise. We're still waiting for it to tank and pick up more buy limits at the end of the week. Into Friday, I'm buying all the way into Friday, the end of Friday here. I'm just committed to it. Okay, we're long. It's Friday. Here comes Sunday. We're cashing out of something. And now, I'd probably go flat and put buy limits down here now. So I'm flat, waiting to get filled. Here they come. Really looking for that news event or whatever bullshit to smash it and take out this. That's not happening, so. So I feel like, let's throw sell limits in then. Let's put in tighter, shorter term. So like a 4-hour, 8-hour buy limit looks like this, where the rest of the week buy limits are still down here pending. We're still waiting for that destruction of the support area by maybe Friday. And doesn't disappoint. So here, if we have this trade plan pending, we just capture that. That would be the best trade you probably thought you'd ever did, right? Because you put in the limits, they fill them perfectly, bing bang bong, you're up 100 pips. Well, not 50 pips, but very quick time. I'm so zoomed out. You can hardly see that trade, but let's see, you bought that little slice box here. Let me zoom out. Oh, it's just such a fast. I'm playing it back at max speed, max headroom here. Yeah, so drawing a box for your entry. Okay, so I know I had buy limits in here. And I know I put them in here. A giant vacuum that's been stacking up here for quite some time. Okay, getting filled on that. Underwater on this. Looking to cash out of my longs. So let's take this down. Get a little more depth here. Alright, now we're still filling in these tickets. They last all week. It's like a 1 week trade plan. Next week's trade plan will be buying deeper and even going more underwater. We're going to buy down here next week. You mean we just buy when it goes lower? Pretty much. That's the trade plan. We're going to cash out. We're going to dump everything when we get back to this price. Whatever this price is. I'll have to dump everything. Oh, I just picked up some more tickets, more buy limits. So they just keep gobbling this shit up. And this is coming in the next week. Every week we buy. We're buying every week it drops. That's our trade plan. This is my favorite way to make a lot of money with $1,000. Just keep buying. It counts to flashing red. I can't buy anymore. That's how I know I'm at my limit. Oof, look at that. Just keep on going. Just a little bit lower. Okay, now we just picked up some, like it's just a giant basket down here, but it's not happening. It's not happening. We're stuck with what we bought. We're not gonna get that insane low. It's all right. So we're under. We took about 100. This is 100 pip grid, so we know that's a we went under 100. Cashing out at the yellow line, and we're out. So I would come in with buy limits all over again and rinse and repeat that whole thing. So that's my trade plan. Put the buy limits in next week, waiting to get filled. And let's put some sell limits up on top. What's going to be the key is, where are the cash outs in these boxes? Do we have interlaced in there the scalps to pay for those insane moves when the market goes fucking berserk? How long do these tickets last? If we put in orders that are only going to be for 8 hours, they look like this actually, because it's 2 bars wide. Right, 2 bars wide. So imagine you've got a column of buy limits and sell limits. The robot just keeps throwing this shit out here, right? Buy limits way down here, out into space, way forward in time. Okay, we just got filled. Magic. Fucking magic. Autofill. Into Friday, we bought the whole plunge. Breakout traders that trade the big breakout there, they're happy. We're underwater. If we loaded the wagon below, we started loading here with a 150 pip stop on this first ticket. We're still in that trade. Okay, so we're building. Maybe we're in 80K now. Maybe we're in 180K right now. I know I got tons of buy orders sitting here all next week to buy even more. So I'm looking forward to the plunge. Okay, so I'm in big, and I'm taking 10 and 15 and 20 pips off the table on some of these tickets, so I am losing a little bit of the account, even though the greed in me wants to just buy the fuck out of a giant swing and hold it for a 300 pip move. I mean, so you're battling the scalp against the swing trader. If you know how to do both, okay, now we are really in. We are so fucking in because we just bought the very nicked the wick of the weekly low there. Holy shit, right? So that is where everybody's on that one. The scalpers, they know that trade. I mean, I know that if you see that, you are like fucking, now talk about a ratio, right? 10 to 1. 10 pips stop on that. You just made 90 pips. And look at, you're to the floor and beyond. If you can handle buying this pattern, buying this sell-off for this move, can you handle swing trading? So if you do buy this and hold for this, if you buy into this and hold for that, if you sell into this and hold for that, if you sell into that and scalp to that. So those sell limit boxes, look at how those are just, that's kind of great because the chart just keeps marching forward and those boxes stay the same because I drew them in the video app, so that's almost perfect. They're constantly feeding on these boxes. And that's the representation. The robot just keeps placing those boxes out there. And you sell and you cash out. You sell, you cash out. Buy into this box, sell into this box. This is your whole trade plan. Every week, over and over. You may see a Gartley here. You may see RSI. You may see... All I see is these voids. I just see... Look at, they're still down here again when this fucking... What the fuck? I thought we were at that price. I thought that you liked that price. Nope. Same pattern. Take out the low... Take out this pocket, feeds on it, comes back. You could scalp this and be done with it, or you stay for it to come back into fair value and dick around in there. And big void up here pending. Probably going to smash into that. Okay. I'm getting filled. I'm going to scalp to this. But it looks like it's going to be vicious. We don't know. It could go ripping up now, or we're going to cash out. So here's the unknown. I'm selling more. So always count on it going higher and going lower than you thought. Because if I sold more there, then I'm cashing out the whole thing now. Right? If I just sold like 190K up there, I guarantee you I went flat because they're going to go up higher. Something's going on. There's no fucking way. I'm not counting on that. No way. So this is how it is. The market's fucking nuts. Okay, I know heavy selling above this double top, right? Cashing that out right now. Scalpers are out. If I see that, if I'm driving, okay, here's Sunday night. I got sell limits above here. I got buy limits below. Shallow. I'm gonna run a very shallow targets now. Market's quieting down. Buy limits here. Just let them come into my traps, so this is the set it and forget it. We don't have to babysit. We don't have to wait for a breakout. We don't have to we don't have to buy at the market. We just went short right there. Boom. Okay, hopefully we got something we took off the table there. Otherwise, like I said, if you just filled in a 20K, maybe you get out now because you know that there's a whole week ahead of you. There's more drama to come. Are you still holding? Definitely going to buy in that yellow box below. and probably just got filled on something because we took out that wick. So I know I'm in something now, and I'm definitely out of this trade if I'm short. Because when it starts to go wick to wick, bing to bang, and bong to bing, when this thing starts to heat up, it triggers some people, and other people are cashing out. Some people are triggered to get in. Some people are, obviously, it's their target. You know, if enough people's targets is enough people's entries, then the market's going to reverse. When the tide of pressure from buyers to sellers, there's more sellers than buyers, it tanks, and now they're filling my limits. They're filling my limits without me having to be there. So that's the, it makes it easier to trade it in a calculated way. And I'm cashing out if we make it to here. I'd probably go flat on that one account, on that one instrument. If I saw that, I'd be like, yeah, I'll just cash out and just come in with limits again. Because it's probably just going to tank. It's probably some stupid trend trade. You know, people are selling. So are they selling? Okay. Well, let me know when they sell it too much. Or I'm still holding. Or I'm still holding because I got in that new low zone. So that is the question. Well, are you or aren't you? Well, it's okay to be halfway. In this case, it's okay to be multi-gendered. You could be 80% bull, 20% bull. But look, if you're still holding, I bet you feel good, right? You're like, dude, are you kidding? I'm still holding from under here. But you got to think about selling up here, right? And definitely, this will be... people shit their pants if we get up here, but I'm selling into that. So if they're shitting their pants, I'm probably getting filled on limits. That's Friday. And look at this. Sunday night to Friday, this is a complete bullish week. But what is it really? It's very quiet. Once again, the breakout traders kind of getting filled there. Okay, they're cashing out. I'm getting filled on sell limits for sure. Absolutely certain. So this week I'll be selling the yen tonight. It's just my favorite trade because it's a high probability that these are unsustainable highs, that this is a trap. Yes, I know it drops 500 pips. It zooms up 300 pips, but we just don't know. And here, this is a winning trade, right? We never know if this is going to go into the great abyss and rip your fucking head off to the north. But look, it didn't happen. So, and if you sold this box, you're about to go into profits in that box. Anything in that box is now in profits. So, right? And the heavy hitter is up here. This might be a 3-year high. We don't know. I can't see that far back. But yeah, people shit their pants selling into that. This is even a winning trade now. The aggressive traders that buy into this plunge and sell into this with a 100 pip stop, on a 50 pip stop, you can't trade as big as many tickets because you would have to have more money in the account. But if we're really talking about money and you can risk $10 to $20 per trade, I think I could convince anybody to trade Forex on a 4-hour chart if I told them we're going to risk $20 a trade. Oh, okay. $10 a trade? That's all I'm going to risk? We put a real stop in there. But we would make $5 per trade or $10 per trade. Okay. If you told somebody that, they'd be like, well, all right, well, I guess I could do like 5 trades today. Yeah. I usually trade more tickets in a denser thing, but I say for the person on the street that can't get their brain around what they're risking. Okay, so you're risking this, you're risking that. Okay, you just lost $5. Yeah, 50 pip stop. You know, this is, and look at this thing just melting down. But I know I'm getting filled on my buy limits. They're just here all the time pending. constantly. I'm now buying anything below last week's low. So really, trading's pretty boring. It's nothing to see here, people. Anything below this lonely wick will always be my entry forever. I would cash out into that. So that whole trade's gone. I was buying that whole week, and now I'm going to come in and buy again. For the if anything sells off this week, I'll be buying. Next sell zone's going to be anything above this wick. So these shelves here to me are the ripe, obvious, uncharted waters. I'm getting filled there. Anything below that box, actually, I would have come in with limits. Okay, I'm out of that trade. That was 4 hours. Let's do it again. Come in, buy limits again. Big sell limit pack pending up here. Aggressively trade. You know, the aggressive traders start selling above that. Top become bottom traders cashing out. Trend traders coming in there. All right, we're waiting for them to hit this. I got sell limits galore there. I saved up I broke my piggy bank open to get in this fucker. Okay, buy limits getting filled. I got them big ass pendings down here. So that's how I'm thinking about it, because I just don't know. Okay, getting filled, great, perfect. I like this as a higher probability trade for me, is smash it down and rip it up. Smash it down, rip it up. Bought all the way into the Friday. Coming in, buying more on Sunday here. Here's Monday, buying more. Now my cash out's going to be at that 100-yard line from the previous. Okay, I'm out of something there for sure. My other target's going to be here. And everything I cash out in this window. It's buying more there. Big ass tickets down here to buy. No market orders. Okay, definitely got filled there. You could have snipered that, babysat that wick. I say, why bother? Just put a bunch of fucking buy limits down here. Just let it rip. Let the thing fucking rip. Okay. Cashed out of something. Here they come. Beautiful. That's what I like to see. Just let them fill me up. 150K now. Got another 150K pending here. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Hit it. Just smash in. 250K. Friday night. We're in Friday. We're still got pendings here. In fact, I'd be so giddy. I'd put buy limits in here that lasted all week. So they coming into Sunday, I'm getting filled without even having to drop these. So if I saw that, I would actually put the buy limits in for next week now. At the end of that week. So now they carry over. I'm so long this thing now. You can't even believe it. I'm in like 400K now. Cashing everything out here though. Anything I buy from here on out will cash out there. I guarantee you. I'm going to take something off the table here. If I have built into this the scalps. Just more buying. These are difficult trades if you don't like going underwater. But this is the only obvious solution to this kind of sell-off is to buy it. Okay, so that would definitely be my... if I do not move any of my targets, I cashed out on something there, I guarantee you. And now I just automatically cashed out because I just have built into that a 20 pip target, and I can see we've hit 20 pips. This is a 100 pip grid, and here's the We're just going to sit it out. Don't touch the thing. I'm not going to buy that pullback. I know everything dump. Okay, now maybe there's a little bit left on the table. I can tell you right now, I might hold it to the... I'm flat. That's it. We're out. So that's the trade. That would be buying a 100 pip drop where you can't believe it's happening. You don't have to be there to see it. But... And I'm buying again, you could see. Right? I would do the same thing again. Coming into... In fact, this is safer trade. This would be the trend trade. Oh, wow, we're bullish. Okay, you think so? I got buy limits. I just filled on that. To me, now I would run the same trade plan and just buy limits. Okay, I know I'm getting filled here. Now this may be the one with the big targets. I'm looking to take out this now. Right? Are we starting to turn? No, we're not. We're still tanking, but it's okay because I'm buying that whole plunge and beyond. I'm buying down here again. So here's where it's tough, because if you didn't cash out on that wick, you can't hardly... Look at this. You can hardly believe it, right? Look at this. Buying more. Oh, unbelievable. What a buying frenzy. Now I know that if you were a short here because you're a trend trader, you're going to say, but I can't hold it that long. I can't sell here on Friday and hold it down to next Friday. So I know I'm not that guy. I'd rather buy these plunges. Like, I'd rather say, I'm going to buy everything below here and just load up. So I know I'm buying this plunge. There's no doubt. This 100 pip window. Look at this Friday. Coming into Sunday, I'm buying that whole plunge. Now here's where I really load up. When I see this, I'm like, oh really? It's going to be like that, huh? I'm going to buy so much here that I'm going to buy stuff for people that don't even accept. I'm going to buy stuff. I'm going to go all in now. Now I'm pissed. I'm like, really? You got, how many masks you got on? Oh man, I'm buying more, thanks. I don't even care what's to the left of this chart here. I'm buying this dip. So I'm down 100. Oh wow, this is where I'm really in. Now I'm in about 600K here. Easily. And not much of a chance to scalp. Boy, maybe a scalp here, but wow, we got a scalp to here now. Because I'm in so big. I know I'm in 800K now. I got more buy limits pending, by the way. We're down 200 pips under here. Had to scalp something there. Sunday again. Friday, Sunday. Buying more down here. Just crushing me. Gotta scalp what you can, though. You gotta take something here and something here, and now again buying more. I'd open another account to buy this. I would get a loan and buy right here. I'd open 5 broker accounts here and buy just across the board. Look at that sell off. Look at that punishment every week down. Man, that is insane. Look at the ATR on that. So here you're so in, you can't believe it. Now you're in a $1.5 million position. You mortgage your home right here. You opened up 5 more accounts. You told your friends and family that if you don't hear from me, it's because I bought more. I bought even deeper. But for the moment, I'm seriously long. Okay, I'm scalping out of something. If I don't scalp out here, my wife's gonna leave me. My kids' college funds in this goddamn trade. Okay, I scalped something there, but I'm ready to buy more, and I'm holding on. I'm holding on. Oh, had to take that scalp. We are 200 pips underwater. That 300 pips stop, that $30 trade, are you still in that trade? So, had to scalp something there. Okay, so we got the college fund back. Now you have to hold, and here's the thing. If you did dump that, you have to buy into that plunge again, because if you really do think that someday, somehow, if they don't come and repo your car, that it's gonna make it back to here, and everybody's gonna go, hey, how'd you get that new car? Yeah, because, dude, I'm fucking out of my mind. I bought into this shit. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you did buy into that, the feeling of losing is really intense because, like I said, you're in a $1.5 million position, and you got a second mortgage on your house, and people are telling you, but it's in a downtrend. Honey, I thought you were, the trend traders, Mike across the street, he's a Forex trader, and he's got a trend system, and this whole time that you've been punching the wall, he's been making money. Do you ever think maybe you want to be a trend trader when you grow up? No, I'll be a swing trader. We're going to cash out that floor. Okay, honey, we just bought back the house. It's going to be okay. Oof. 200 pips on that trade. Wow. Now that is dramatic. I don't know where this is. I don't even know where we're at in time here, but did anybody build an algorithm moving average crossover system for that kind of shit? Really? Wow, and still climbing there. Look at still just crushing. So would you kick yourself if you got out here where you're supposed to get out to buy back your house? No, not really. Would you throw sell limits up above that? I put buy limits in all over again though. So I wouldn't change the plan. I'd have buy limits. I'd be getting filled right now. I'd do the same, rinse and repeat. If I saw it up here, I'm assuming that's not gonna last. I'm assuming there's sellers there. So, and the volatility is so vicious now that I would step back and I would use really wide grids. If I bought that, if I sold into this, I'd be like, wow, man, this is unreal. Like, even this buy is now up. If you could afford a 200 pips, 300 pips stop. So that's how dramatic these markets are. And like, if you're a heavy swing trader, you are trading with a 100 pips stop. You have to. 200 pips stop, you have to build a position. You could have built 100K down here. Come on. With the 300 pips stop, you'd be, okay, I'm down. I'm going to stop down. But yeah, you're taking a hit, You're down $20, you're down $40, you're down $1,000. But if you are down here, you're not down $1,000 because this ticket's down $1,000. You're down because these tickets are starting to get hit. Look at that fucking move. Are you serious? So that's a full engulfment. That is such a radical. And why is that such a big move? Is because the fuel of this fill down here is so intense that if you sold above this fractal, you got to cash out right now. Right now. Right? You just made 100 pips on the top side of the other side of that insane. This is like wick to wick. Right? And look at this ATR just getting insane, man. You had to take those pips. Sell limits again above that. The same story. It's insanely. There's a guy selling into that right now who's mortgaging his home. And he's going to make money. Maybe. Or does it just keep going? You don't know. Zoom out. Let's take a look. Look at that landscape of that. That is just mind-blowing. And now we have the volatility is so high that you can't even trade this shit with a 10 pip stop. You can't. It's ridiculous. Look at that scalp there. Wow. If you sold above here, well, you got to run wide targets, wide stops. Anyways, that's my 2 cents.